All right, so the 5 reasons why you don't have enough energy. Okay, so number 1 is you're not getting enough sleep. This is very, very common with people. They just don't prioritize sleep. They just think it's something that's like an afterthought. They don't really take it seriously. But sleep is probably the biggest pillar of health that you need to dial in. That's going to help you get into the parasympathetic nervous system. It's going to help your body recover the best way possible. And this is something that most people don't focus on. It's like, I had a client once, and he's a crypto trader. So he'd wake up, actually no, stock market, right? So he'd wake up in the middle of the night to check the markets. And he knew that was wrong, like that wasn't the right thing to do for his recovery, but he kept on doing it, right? So we had him implement a strategy where he didn't need to check his trades, right? To implement some stop losses. So if the trade was losing, it would stop him out through the night, right? So he didn't have to wake up for it. And then I just had to change his perspective on why sleep is so important and what it's going to do for your body. So most people don't understand, like, sleep is actually what's going to regulate your hormones. Okay, so you can eat well, you can eat all the best foods, you can train well, but if you're not focusing on getting the right amount of sleep and you're waking up super tired every morning, then you're going to undo all your progress, because your hormones won't have time to balance out, and you'll have way too much cortisol, which no matter how much you try in the gym, you're not going to get the results because you got too much cortisol, right? The stress level in your body is too high. You're in a fight or flight mode. You're in the sympathetic nervous system. So nervous system regulation is really important, and there's lots of ways you can do that. So this adds to number 2, right? So number 2 is you're not resting well. You don't know how to rest, okay? Now, a lot of people, they think that resting is like a 30-minute nap, but resting doesn't have to be that, right? There's something that I discovered which is called restorative yoga, okay? And restorative yoga, there's certain poses, there's a few distinct poses, because everyone thinks, oh yeah, I know restorative yoga, but there's only like a handful of poses that are actually going to restore your energy in just 15 minutes, okay? And this is something I share with my clients, but there's only a handful of exercises that restore your energy to the point where you're actually feeling refreshed and ready to attack the day, right? And you're not sleeping, right? You're just resting. It's a difference. Like a nap is actually like you're falling asleep, but restorative yoga is like you're not actually asleep. Your eyes are closed. So it's kind of like meditation, but you're obviously stretching as well, right? A little bit. And number 3 is they're eating the wrong foods, okay? So this is a common one. They're eating lots of processed foods. They're eating all the foods that are going to actually spike their insulin and give them short-term energy, but then all of a sudden they have a crash and then they feel like shit, right? So people that drink Coca-Cola every time they drink, like they think they're not doing any harm to their body. They're doing a lot of harm to their body, right? And people who drink energy drinks, like several cups of coffee, like this is all harming your body, okay? And it's going to give you a little jolt of energy, but it's actually costing you more than it's getting you, right? And so when you start eating nutrient-dense food, this stuff goes away, right? So you stop eating the processed crap in an effort to increase your energy, and you start eating real food, go figure, right? Real food, you'll start noticing that you have consistent energy, and you don't need to have these spikes because your energy is just consistent and constant. Okay, so that's number 3. And number 4 is just not drinking enough water, not drinking enough fluids, right? Like you're just not drinking enough. And also another thing that I do is, because I train jiu-jitsu and I'm out here in Bali and it's really hot, so I put some Himalayan salt in my water. So I'm actually hydrating myself with the salt in the water. I put a little bit of a teaspoon, actually no, not a teaspoon, that's way too much, like half or quarter of a teaspoon of salt in my water. And that goes and helps me have more hydration, okay? So this is all things you can do to avoid that slump, all right? And adding to the food, like the afternoon slump that you maybe feel after you eat lunch, that's pretty much down to the fact that you're not eating the right foods. How do I know this? Well, I experienced this too. So I was at an event once in America, and I had a really big lunch. I had a Chipotle, I had a, naked burrito. And it was just extra everything, right? Extra rice, extra sour cream, everything. And I remember eating that bowl. It was huge. Like I just felt super full, super bloated. I went into the conference room after lunch, and I must have lasted like 30 minutes, and I just fell asleep. I was like, and you know when you're falling asleep and you're just like, that was me. Because I just ate too much of the wrong stuff, right? I didn't have any knowledge about nutrition back then. So I was just like, oh, fuck it, I need to eat, let's eat. And there was no knowledge about what am I eating? How is this going to help me perform for the rest of the day? Am I going to be groggy? Am I going to feel tired? Right? And this is what most people do. I was at an event in San Diego, and this is exactly what they did. Like after lunch, everyone was a little bit more tired because they were just eating the wrong stuff. They were just eating way too much energy. What do I mean by that? Well, fizzy drinks like lots of soda and lots of carbohydrates, right? And sugars. And this is a recipe for brain fog and lack of focus. So this is literally why after lunch, most people feel the way they feel, which is very tired, and they feel like they need a nap. Well, actually, I'd argue that once you start eating nutrient-dense food, like food that has a lot of nutrients in it, you know, like meat and seafood, for example, to name but two, then you start actually realizing, wow, I'm actually not bloated, I don't have brain fog, and I can actually focus, and I feel great, I have energy, like I feel ready to go. And I have consistent energy, okay? This is the secret. So those are 4 tips, and the 5th one is really just being around good people, right? People that drain your energy. No wonder why you feel tired all the time, because you're around people that are sucking their life out of you. And this is something that I didn't realize myself. I was in a relationship I ended like a few months ago actually, and I just didn't realize that, wow, I wasn't feeling tired, but like emotionally I was feeling tired, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I was like, wow, I'm with this person, and she's like, I know I got my own shit to deal with, but I don't feel like on fire when I'm with her. Like I don't feel like confident when I'm with her. I feel less confident when I'm with this person. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I couldn't put my finger on it until I actually left that relationship. And then all of a sudden I got all this energy again. I'm like, holy shit. Like that was actually the problem. I was just with someone who was actually draining my energy. And I'm an empath, right? So I naturally want to take care of people. And I was finding myself taking care of her, so much so that my energy was depleting. And I'm like, fuck. It was like having a glass with holes in it. Like you pour the water in, but the water just falls out because there's holes in it. And that was like my energy, right? I thought I was filling up my energy, and then every time I was hanging out with her, it was just like slowly depleting it. Not that she's a bad person, but she's got some shit she needs to work on. And my shit I need to work on is identifying the people who are going to drain my energy, right? And that's something that I have learned from that, right? So I was giving all my energy, a lot of my energy to her, and it was draining me of my own energy, my own power. And so now, imagine the cup with holes in it. I've sealed up all those holes, and now my energy is increasing every day, and it's just filling up. My cup is overflowing, and I have loads of energy to show up more and make content and just be myself, right? And that is something that I'm not going to trade anymore. Like I need my energy. Like one of my issues as well is people are always like trying to ask me to go places, which is a great problem to have, right? Like people want me around. That's a great problem to have, but it doesn't come without a cost, right? So before, like I would put people before my own self. And that's something that a people pleaser does. Like, oh yeah, Aaron, you want to go here? You want to go here? Yeah, sure. And I'd go to all these events and stuff, and then come home and be like, fuck, I didn't get any work done today. I've just been spending my time with this person, that person, this person, saying yes to everyone but myself. And that is lying to myself, right? Betraying myself. And that is actually a result in less energy. Like I have less energy for myself because I was spending my energy of all these other people, right? So this is a big one that no one talks about with regards to energy is where are you putting your time? Like where are you putting your focus? For me, what's important to me now is controlling and really like taking care of my own energy and really bringing that in and building that power and that energy, my own personal power, because that's where everything starts from, right? And so I hope these tips helped you. To recap, I think it was, the eating the right foods, getting sleep, resting well. What was the other one? Being around the right energy, and there's another one. But yeah, we'll put it on the screen. Anyways, my editor will do it. And this is how you increase your energy, right? Because it's so important to not have these brain fog when you're working, because you want to get stuff done. You want to have that mental clarity to attack your day. And of course, another thing is to get blood work done, because this actually ties into the nutrient-dense food, because if you're eating nutrient-dense food, you're actually going to be getting zinc, B12, right? People that don't have zinc and B12 in their diet and all the B vitamins, they don't have any fucking energy, right? Like meat, red meat, oysters, they have lots of zinc, lots of B12, and all the B vitamins, right? So meat has all the B vitamins, like pork, lamb, beef, mutton, venison. It has all the B vitamins, and if you're deficient in B vitamins, then you're going to have low energy, right? If you're anemic, then you're lacking in iron, B12, and zinc and magnesium, right? So you need to have these vitamin B6. That's it. So you need to have these nutrient-dense foods in your diet so you don't get all these symptoms. Okay, so I don't just say shit to say shit. Like, you need these nutrients, and most people opt for supplements before food. It's fucking crazy to me. Like, first of all, if you can't get it from food, get it from supplements. But the first port of call must be food. Like, food is where you should be getting most of your nutrients from. And the only nutrients that you can't get from food is where you should be going to get supplements. But you can get everything from food, okay? But if you, for example, beef liver, if you don't eat beef liver, then you're not getting vitamin A in your diet in the most bioavailable form, which is why you may have dry skin, or you may have immune system problems. Like, you may have a weak immune system because you don't have any vitamin A. Most people think vitamin A you get from carrots. Well, that's beta carotene, and beta carotene can't really be absorbed in the body that well. Whereas retinol, which is the form of vitamin A in liver and animal foods, you can get that bioavailable, which means when you eat it, it's going to be absorbed straight away. Okay, and this is the key that people don't understand about bioavailability of nutrients. It's very important. And if you don't like eating liver, because most people don't, you can get beef liver pills, which is basically freeze-dried beef liver, right? So they go and dry it and they dehydrate it and they put it into powder form and put it in pills. So that's also an alternative. So again, having knowledge about nutrition helps you with optimizing your energy. And most people don't know about this stuff. They just think, oh yeah, you should eat meat, but they don't actually know what it's doing, right? So if you want to increase your sperm count, for example, eat oysters. Zinc is the highest form of zinc in food is in oysters, right? That's why people call it aphrodisiac. It's actually only because your zinc levels are going to be increased so much that you're going to be fucking horny, right? That's pretty much what happens. And oysters have B12 as well, so you've got lots of energy in there as well. So there's a lot of vitamins and minerals in oysters. But people don't understand this. It's funny how people can go through their whole life not understanding the nutrients that are in food and how it's helping their body and their health. And so, yeah, it's crazy to me, but I'm doing these videos to help educate you on this stuff. And if you're lacking in energy, apply these 5 tips and you're going to see a lot of change in how you show up on a day-to-day basis. All right, so if you found this video helpful and you want more information on how you can get in the best shape of your life, have maximum energy, mental clarity, no brain fog, no bloating, without depriving yourself of your favorite foods and without counting the calories, go ahead and click the link in the video in the bio and go ahead and watch the presentation I've got on how to get in the best shape of your life. All right, so I will talk to you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Like and subscribe, leave the comments down below as always, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.